Morning, this is Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and I was going to show you the cards I made with the May 2017 paper pumpkin hugs from Shelley. I haven't done the ones in this yet, but I did these as alternatives, and I was going to explain how I did them and the products I used to make them. So let's start with my favorite, actually, is this one. I took the card front, which you can see right here, this card front, and I cut it, I believe it's 3 by 3. Yes. I cut it into 3 by 3 piece, and then I took a piece of old olive, and it is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and mounted that on there. And then I took a piece of Whisper White, and it is, let's see, 4 1/2 by 3 1/4, and I glued that to the top. And then I stamped the thank you from the stamp set right here, which is this thank you on the bottom, and I stamped that with soft suede. Then I took a piece of soft suede, and it is 3 3/8 by, let's see, 4 1/8. And then I glued that, and then I took a piece of this very vanilla ribbon that's in the catalog and tied a bow and just tucked it under. And these little pearls are from the Share What You Love artisan pearls. They're not in the new catalog, but if you don't have them, I believe today's the last day in the old catalog. You might still be able to get them, but you could just use regular white pearls there instead of these. And then the pink is one of the colors. I think it's Petal Pink. I already dropped this. It tells you on the back the colors. Yes, this is Petal Pink. And so I mounted this with Stampin' Dimensionals. And just put it on the front, and the card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and then this is a piece of Very Vanilla, and the size of it is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and then I stamped it with this image here, and then colored it with Stampin' Right markers. I used the Petal Pink and the Old Olive, and I stamped it with soft suede. And then I did the same thing to the front of the envelope on that card. So that was card number 1 that I did. And then I did this one, and I stamped the envelope with the feather on the back, on the flap, and then I did a couple of them on the front, and then there's a little splotches image that I stamped off and stamped, and this is also with the soft suede that I did the envelope for that card. And then I colored the eggs with the Pool Party, and the leaves with the Old Olive. And then I took a couple of the flowers that were the punch outs. I stamped this with excuse me, soft suede, and under here you can sort of see I stamped a couple of the feathers, and I used crumb cake to stamp those so I could get them really light. And then I tied a little bow with the this ribbon or twine that comes with the kit, and put that on there, and it's the feathers, or the ends of the feathers are up, and so I just put that there. And then I got this bird image, and this is the last day that if you don't have this petal palette set, I got the bird from there because that is what I had. But I think today's the last day on that. And then there's a stamp set that goes with it that you can punch the bird out right here. And this is a 2 stamp set. So I did that for the bird, and then I colored the bird with dark real red, so it would be like a robin. And then I took the pool party to color in the little on the wings to make them blue. And then I cut his feet off because the stamp, he has feet. And I cut those off so it make it look like she's sitting on the eggs. And this label is in the kit, the paper pumpkin kit, and I popped it up on dimensionals. And then I cut the front off of one of the cards. Let me find that card here. I have a stack of things over here. Here's this was the first card that I just cut along here. And so then I used the bird and I cut it, and then I trimmed it down to along the bottom. I cut the bottom off to make the card 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then I took a piece of early espresso cardstock and cut it 3 3/4 by 5 and mounted the card front on there. And then this is Old Olive, the same size as the other one. This is Crumb Cake. It is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, and then I stamped that splotches image down here a couple times with Crumb Cake, and then I stamped the flower image again with Crumb Cake. And then I put a piece of early espresso that is 1/2 inch by the 3 3/4, and put that down, and then pop this up on dimensionals. And that was card number 2. And I already showed you the envelope. Card number 3 is this one, and this came from inside of one of these envelopes. Just a minute and I'll find it. No, actually I think it was a card front. Here it is. This card front. And I wanted these 2 birds right here. So I used the layering ovals dies and cut that out with, I think it was the second to the largest. And then this piece is Crumb Cake. No, Early Espresso. The card base is Early Espresso. And it's, again, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then I popped this up on dimensionals. This is, let me tell you the size of this one is 5 3/16 by 1/8. It's 5 3/8. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then I popped this up on dimensionals. I said that, I think. I ran this through the embossing. I used the subtle embossing folder to emboss this piece, going the I don't know how to explain. going this way. And then I put one of the images that you punch out, stamped it with Early Espresso. This is Pool Party, and I used the Frosted Bouquet Framelits dies, and I used this, I'll show you, these two dies. I used this one for the Pool Party and this one for the Very Vanilla, so it would be layered, and then I sponged around it with crumb cake, so it would kind of look sort of distressed. And then I took a piece of the ribbon that comes in the kit, and this is the Pretty Peacock ribbon, and it's velvet, and I just kind of tucked it around, so it's, I don't know, approximately, I would say about 5 inches in length. And then I put this on top. Used one of the little birds that comes in the paper pumpkin and put there. And then I took some rhinestones and put in the flowers, and I took my bronze pen, Stampin' Blend, and you can color these. They don't get super dark, but they give it just a little bit of darker color. If you color them, I think you can kind of see that. And then this piece inside is the same size as the outside, and then I stamped this bird right here in Pool Party, and then I stamped him on the envelope as well. So that's card number 3. And for card number 4, I took this card front right here, and it's directional, so you don't want to put it upside down, and I cut it here, and then I trimmed it down on this end, I think, to 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then I have a mat of 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and it is soft suede. And then I took this envelope, an envelope like this, and I carefully cut around it the label that's on the front of it, so it would have a little blue border, and I cut around the feather, and then I glued that to the front, and then I took one of the feathers that's in the kit, looks like this, and I glued it right here to the front, stamped with Grateful for You, and I stamped it with soft suede. Then I tied a bow with the ribbon and put glue dots behind it. I put this on dimensionals to raise it up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's raised up on dimensionals. And then I stamped on the Very Vanilla, I stamped some birds with soft suede, and I fussy cut around them, and I put them up on Stampin' Dimensionals because I really liked the way that looked. And then on the inside, this piece is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8, and I stamped one of the birds in soft suede, and then I stamped the envelope with this bird on the back and this bird on the front. And those are my alternatives. If there's one of these that you would like to see, let me know, and I will demonstrate one of them. But I haven't done, these are the only ones I've done. I haven't even done the ones that came in how the kit looks. I haven't done this style yet. I'm thinking about doing those. I just haven't done them yet. But I wanted to get out to you what I worked on this weekend for alternatives. It was really hard to come up with for me to come up with different alternatives. I want some of this pretty peacock, and I'm going to order that cardstock this week. I haven't placed an order yet for new products, and I'm sure I think I'm ordering, there's a bird stamp set and dies. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, I'll probably order that, and maybe if the bird's big enough, I'll use it on the nest in one of the other cards when I make them, because I really like the bird sitting in the nest. I thought this looked kind of neat. And there's a lighthouse that I wouldn't mind doing and using these birds to make a card with. I really like this. I think this is my favorite because I like pink. So anyway, those are my alternatives for this week for this paper pumpkin. I noticed I looked and there's a lot of alternatives out there. I didn't even use this pink twine yet. It's real pretty too. But there's lots of things in this kit. I've got them all punched out, the flowers, the die or the labels. I've got on order, there's a new stitched labels framelits that's this shape that I'm going to put on my order, and I'll have that so that I can incorporate that in this. But anyway, those are my cards for today. The next paper pumpkin's coming out real soon. You've got until the 10th of June to sign up for it. I have no idea what it's going to be. If you order $50 from me and request a catalog, I'll send you a catalog in the mail. Just go to my website, elainedotson.stampinup.net, anytime during the month of June. I haven't got a host code yet because I need to go in and do that, but I'll have a host code, and I will post it on this down below on the video so you'll know what it is. And for every $50 you purchase, use that host code. If you have any questions, you can go to my email. It's elainescustomcards@gmail.com. If there's any of these you want me to demonstrate further, I would be more than happy to do that, because I still have all the other cards. These are the only ones I've made out of this kit. So anyway, if you want to sign up as a demonstrator, you can go to my website and do that there. Sign up for Paper Pumpkin. You can go and do that on my website also. So I hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy the sun and have fun making cards. Thank you so very much for watching.